Right, we are going to do a little tutorial here on how to add typewriter text to a Polaroid image, as I did for my little Instagram series called Departures. There were two big questions that were continually asked. One, how I got the typewriter text on the Polaroid, and two, how to post non-square images to Instagram. So I'll show you those two things really quick. So currently I'm in an app called Polomatic, and Polomatic allows you to bring in images. I'll bring in the original image here. There's the original image, and scale it up a bit to get rid of that border. In fact, let's crop it, maybe something like that. The original here was shot on Hipstamatic, and you can see we can add all kinds of crazy borders. We'll just go with the tape one. We can even add some filters. I'll go with the mono one. That looks good, and let's go ahead and save this. Polomatic does not save in high res, which is a downside. Unless I'm mistaken, there has not been an update for full res saving. So it makes it fine for Instagram to put this border on, but usually if you want a bigger res file, it's not really going to work for you. That's generally why I shoot in a high-res app like Hipstamatic and then apply these filters later. But anyway, that's a little off track. What we have here now is the image in a Polaroid format, which we've saved to our camera roll. Now we're going to go into the Typewriter app. It's called Typewriter, or actually in the App Store it's called the Amazing Typewriter. And note that this does not, let me get a new sheet here. You can see I've already done this. Oops. New sheet, tapping the plus button. This just allows you to type a little authentic looking type onto white pieces of paper. So that means we need to add an extra step to get this onto the image, which is what I'll show you. There are plenty of apps out there that allow you to put type on images. Fonto is one that allows you to do that, and I'm sure there are plenty out there. Feel free to experiment. So like you say, here's one, and I'm just going to show you real quick. You can do the same thing. The reason that I like the Typewriter app is that in Fonto, as you can see, you can choose many different departure fonts, but they don't look quite as authentic as the Amazing Typewriter, which is why I used it. I'm trying to scroll up here too. There's a great set of fonts here, by the way, but the Typewriter fonts like Alder or American Typewriter, they don't quite look like, they look a little synthetic, and the other one looks a little bit more authentic. But you can see you can put type anywhere you want. Okay, so that's just a little departure from our tutorial. And so what we need to do is go into Filter Storm. And again, you see I've already worked on this, so I'm going to go ahead and start from scratch. Let's pull in the Polaroid. And actually, I don't think I saved this, so let's save this. Save to camera roll. And let's go back to Filter Storm. And Filter Storm actually has some great tutorials here in the help section. But we're going to choose this little sundial here in the filters, and we're going to add exposure. And adding exposure is basically allowing us to do what looks like a double exposure. And you can see here now I can adjust my image and move it wherever I want. That's where I want to put the departure. And right here on the right side under the X are some level, what look like kind of level indicators. They're actually blending modes. And I'm going to choose multiply. You can experiment with all these other blending modes, but multiply worked for me in this case. And now I'm ready to click on the lower right here, the mask. And the mask allows me to brush on, essentially. I'll choose the brush, and in the brush we have the options for the diameter of the brush. Let's make it maybe right there and hide it, and you'll see I can simply just brush on the departure, and it's as simple as that. And I save this image to my camera roll. And once it's saved to the camera roll, I get this non-square image, which is a Polaroid. You can see it's not square, so that would be very difficult to get into Instagram. So we will go into a free app called Square Ready. Again, I've done this before. Let's start from scratch and choose it. And you can see I can pinch and squeeze and put this non-square image within this square frame. I can even off-center it a little bit if I want. And if I so choose, I can change the background color to any color I want. I'll leave it white, and I'll put it back in the center here. And there are some other buttons that will automatically size it for you here if you want to choose those. And then you can still take it off center if you want. You can rotate it. You can flip it if you want to. So some pretty cool, center it there. Pretty cool little features here in this little free app. And now we just save this, save it to the camera roll, and we'll just save it as a JPEG here. And it's going to be saved in a square format, so I can now upload this to Instagram. So there's your little tutorial on how to put typewriter text on a non-square image and save that non-square image and open it up in Square Ready and get it ready for Instagram. So enjoy.